Kind of sounds like the Mario Kart.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
yeah.
does. It does. Cool. I'm gonna text my wife real quick.
Alright. Is that one mine?
I think so.
Yeah.
Does it look?
She's picking me up, so I'm just letting her know about what time we're gonna be getting done.
We were right at 10:30.
Yeah. Rainbow. So these boxes are part of those sequences, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's just like
'Cause
the
that's why I was just like,
description.
-35, -35.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think I just copied them over.
Okay. Sorry about that.
No, you're fine.
Alrighty. So do you just want to go through the problems then again? And
If
when we
we
get to
get
5,
to
we'll...
5, we'll do it.
Alrighty, I'll start, I guess. So 1A. Let's see, what was the question here? Let me pull it up. Sorry. The key, but not the... Okay. Transcription in E. coli is subdivided to 3 stages: initiation, elongation, and termination. Part A is, what DNA sequences are involved in initiation in E. coli? And I said the -35 sequence, and the -10 sequence, and the +1 sequence.
That's what I said.
I didn't put the +1 sequence there, but I just missed it.
And there's also, and she also has here, those are just the promoter sequences, I guess. There's also the terminator sequence. But I don't know.
That's
But
not
that's
involved
not initiation.
Yeah.
in initiation.
That's not part of initiation, is it?
What does it say?
I mean, I guess it's
It's
their
there.
act.
But it's
It
not
says-
involved.
Yeah, I think it. Yeah. It says the terminator sequence is located downstream of the gene and functions to terminate the transcription process. And then there's also the regulatory DNA sequences. But that's also downstream.
That's like elongation.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that's.
Wait a second. All right. And then she has part A down twice, so that's actually part B. So that's what proteins are involved in initiation in E. coli. And that I got the RNA polymerase hollow enzyme and the sigma factor.
That's what I put.
Cool. Part C. What proteins are involved in elongation in E. coli? I put down RNA polymerase. That was it.
Yeah, that's what I put.
And I think that's all she put too. Yeah, that's all she put too. Yay.
Nice.
And then what DNA sequences are involved in termination in E. coli? I put a longer answer. What did I say? So the formation of a stem loop and then row dependent, the RUT, and row independent, the uracil rich region of RNA, and thus the adenine rich region of the DNA.
Is this the P protein thing? Is that an actual? Oh, that's a protein.
That's a
Yeah, it's protein.
Okay, never mind. I thought it was on the DNA.
Yeah, it's the row protein. And she said when the terminal this is still on, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
As long as that green light.
Okay, cool. She's watching this. She's gonna like. Okay. Never mind. Okay. She said the terminator sequence, which is in the terminator DNA sequence, is transcribed. The stem loop structure is produced RNA molecule. The stem loop structure plays an important role in both row independent, row dependent, and independent transcriptional termination. In genes that terminate via row independent mechanism, the terminator sequence includes the adenine rich sequence of the DNA. Okay. Hey.
I just put your cell rich. But
read
that
them.
implies
I mean,
on
Yeah.
the DNA.
yeah, actually, that's the original one I had to. Then I went back and like, wait, I'll just put on ENA rich. I said that's the.
I totally spaced this as DNA sequences.
And then, what proteins are involved in termination in E. coli? So we got the Rho protein, RNA polymerase, and NUS. I don't know how you
Me
say that.
too.
Nusa. Yeah.
NUSA. NUSA. And let's see. She put that, except she didn't put the RNA polymerase.
She didn't put RNA polymerase?
Nope. But,
Like, it's just
Whatevs.
like, I don't know. That's confusing.
I guess for the test, I'll probably just memorize what it says on her key because
Yeah. That might be best.
and
Okay.
I'm sure she might have missed it too, or like it is, but it's like not a major factor or something. So she doesn't put it in.
yeah,
Okay. Let's do
Okay.
2.
I can do it. E. coli produces a family of proteins called sigma factors. And A, what is the function of a sigma factor? I put facilitates RNA polymerase binding to -35 and -10 holoenzyme.
I put this protein recognizes the promoter and targets RNA polymerase to the gene.
That's what I said. I think that's kind of
That's the same thing.
That's,
Yeah.
Just basically the same thing.
All right.
What did you say?
It basically helps RNA polymerase bind to the promoter region.
Basically the same thing.
Yeah.
Just a little more words, but yeah.
Okay.
Oh, she included the whole -35 too. So it's like a combination of both of the things that we said. All right.
Yep.
B.
Yes.
One one of these sigma 70 is called the housekeeping sigma factor. Yeah, I remember this question. What do you think housekeeping is? I read that without it, transcription can't take place because it gets the job done.
What did you say?
I tried looking to see if there was like an
I
actual
know.
definition.
No.
That'd be really funny. That the answer that totally sexist. It's the female. The housekeeping.
I just
That was
put
terrible.
keeps everything organized and functioning properly. I don't know.
What did she put?
She put housekeeping refers to all cellular functions in E. coli that are required for life. Therefore, housekeeping sigma factor functions to guide the RNA polymerase core enzyme to the promoters of all genes essential for life in E. coli. This ensures that the essential genes are continually transcribed.
Okay.
I was like, and maybe it has something to do with the proofreading in RNA.
Oh.
I mean, but that's more like that's a definition of what sigma factor does. They could have just asked that
Yeah.
instead of calling it the housekeeping. Because the question is, what do you think housekeeping means?
And to keep your house in order.
I know, it's an organ.
Okay,
I
C.
don't know.
Other sigma factors in E. coli include a general starvation, nitrogen starvation, and excessive heat. Sigma factor. Of what benefit is having multiple sigma factors to E. coli? I put that the cell can replicate despite changing environmental conditions.
That's basically what she said.
I put, depending on what the environment is, different sigma factors will increase transcription of the more important genes, which means they
Yeah.
adapt more easily to different conditions.
Yeah, similar to what I said. I said that. One thing I also said that I don't know if it's even. I shouldn't say it here, so I don't think it's even right. It might be. I said you can specifically target certain parts of the gene for certain results. And I said basically the same thing you said. As I said, it provide a greater capacity for adaptation as different situations necessitate. The environment would be continuing with that, but yeah,
Okay.
that's basically what she said too, more or less. Some more detail.
Alright, the sigma factor is a good example of a transcription factor. Provide 5 other examples of transcription factors. So I put core promoter, TAT box, transcription start site +1,
Are those
answers and silencers.
are those transcription factors? Like
Aren't those
those are
sequences? Like promoter sequences?
yeah. The enhancers and the silencers I think are wait, I don't remember.
Transcription factor, So that one's like TFIID. And
Yeah,
all those.
that's TFIID.
I did put enhancers and silencers,
I can't
and then
remember
I
where I
put
put them.
TFIID,
I just put down all the TF ones. And I said regulatory transcription factors as well.
I don't know why I put that. That's probably because I was doing it at midnight.
It's due in 20 minutes. Gotta get this done.
Basically.
3. We learned that E. coli terminates transcription using either the P-dependent or P-independent mechanism. How are these two mechanisms different? P protein and RUT used in P-dependent, whereas the protein NUSA is used in P-independent. Also, P-independent focuses more on the bonds between the bases A and U.
I just put that
That's
one
exact- that's-
requires a P protein and one doesn't.
What did she say?
A lot. It's okay. The row-dependent mechanism involves a row protein binding to the RUT sequence. So basically the same thing. I'll just skip this one with the thing, guys.
Yeah, one has a P protein, one doesn't.
Yeah, and then she included the RUT and the uracil adding bases with the weak hydrogen bonds. She didn't actually say uses NUSA.
Yeah.
But the
What's that?
other one uses it.
She didn't
She didn't mention it, but that would be another difference.
Oh.
I said it like basically exactly what you said too.
Yeah. Okay. B, how are these two mechanisms similar? I said both involve hairpin loops which slow RNA polymerase down.
Yeah, that's what I said, and that's what she said too.
That's, it's stem loop, same thing as the hairpin loop.
Yeah, same thing.
Okay, C, suppose you're studying P-dependent transcriptional termination in the lab. Propose 2 ways that you could interfere with the P-dependent transcriptional termination process. Think in terms of specific changes you can make to the DNA or mRNA that would inhibit transcriptional termination. So for that one, I understood that the loop was formed by like the G and C nucleotides. So I said by having less of those, or deleting some of those. And then 2, I said a change made to the RUT, the row utilization site, such that it wouldn't be like able to recognize. And so then it wouldn't be able to do it.
That's good. Yeah, she said pretty similar stuff to that. Most of the RUT. And it was also kind of a, not a vague question, but there's like lots of things you could have said. I feel like, too. I mean, there's multiple things you could do. Like, I don't know. This probably isn't specific enough. I don't even know if it's right, but I said that you just don't add any guanine or cytosine nucleotides, and then you can't.
Well, that would cause it to.
Yeah, because I said that specifically because those had guanine and cytosine rich areas. So even if there was a little bit left in the system, then yeah.
I just put the problems with the RUT sequence and the stem loop.
Okay. And use like the same question, isn't it? But it's with the other one.
And I just said decrease the number of adenine bases in DNA and therefore decrease the number of U bases, for the bonds wouldn't be as weak and likely to spontaneously dissociate. And then stop providing RNA polymerase C bases for RNA, resulting in the same effect as
And so basically, if you take out any nucleotide, it messes it up.
Yeah, I just said remove NUSA from the system.
New stuff?
NUSA.
Oh, new stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, stop it. I was like, I don't know.
How do you like specifically take out that
Let's
protein?
see, I
don't know.
put the
But that could
hairpin
happen.
loop.
That would stop it.
Hairpin loop doesn't form, so the RNA let's cancel it down, and then no hydrogen bonds between U and A. Then,
And then I also said, don't add any uracil to the system. Or okay, number 4, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so eukaryotic genes can be transcribed at the base level or can be transcribed At levels above or below basal level, transcription above or below basal level is called regulated transcription. What DNA sequences are required for basal transcription in eukaryotes? And I said the TATA box, transcription start site,
+1 site.
yeah, which is the N plus 1. And then with the TATA box, the -25 to -35 thing,
Just put
which is the core promoter.
That's pretty much it.
Okay.
I have
Yep. He has.
these are in.
That's
in
not
there.
for basal though. Those are for above.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. The only ones that are for basal are these two. Okay, that makes sense.
And then this one B is like all of those that are involved.
That's what proteins are required for transcription eukaryotes. I said transacting factors in general. So
You're
that's,
smart. I just wrote all
yeah, and then RNA polymerase 2 and GTFs.
Mm-hmm.
It's GTF. It's
General transcription factor.
oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, and then
I
she
put mediator. Did she put that? I don't know
no.
why I put mediator.
No.
Okay.
And then C, what DNA sequences are involved in regulated transcription in eukaryotes? There's the core. Well, I said promoter elements like the cat box, enhancers, silencers, as well as those that we mentioned in part A.
Oh, so that's where I'm at. So this one would have been all of them
Yeah.
compared
Just had
to
'em flipped.
basal,
Yeah.
would just be tata or whatever that is, and then +1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did she put enhancers and silencers?
She put enhancers, silencers. Yeah, she did.
Okay.
Yeah, those are the regulatory DNA sequences. Yeah.
Okay.
And then what proteins are involved in regular transcription in eukaryotes? I said all listed in part B. And I'm sure there's more. That one there was also.
I included mediator in this one.
Yeah, she included mediator as well. What does the mediator do?
Enhancers and silencers are not in eukaryotes, right?
No. Wait,
Yeah,
Yeah, they
they
are.
are. Yeah, they are.
Oh,
They're not in
in prokaryotes.
They're in eukaryotes, not prokaryotes.
so D would be RNA polymerase 2, GTFs, and regulatory sequence elements, enhancers and silencers, and mediator.
I didn't put enhancers in.
No, she didn't put enhancers or silencers, but she did include it in the explanation for mediator though. So I don't know.
Don't they fall under that?
She said activators and repressors. She said.
Under mediator.
I don't know if they do. I don't
Oh.
remember much about the mediator. She didn't list them, but she included them in her explanation. There's like a paragraph here.
Okay.
I won't read it, but yeah. Then she said activators and repressors as well. So yeah, cool. Number 5 now.
Okay.
Let's
So
do
this
this.
question concerns the 3 major RNA modifications discussed in this lesson. Suppose a pre-mRNA is produced by transcription. Which RNA? Oh, were you going to say something?
No.
Oh, modification occurs first. Which RNA modification occurs second? Which is the final RNA modification?
I can probably just do this verbally, right? I mean, as far as we can write stuff down, but I mean, as far as
Yeah, we don't have to turn it over or anything.
yeah. Okay. Cool. What do you guys think?
Modification.
The
Oh,
three
the
major.
Three major modifications.
Oh, so I was looking at that, and I wasn't sure because there's
I don't remember.
processing, and there's splicing, and then there's base modification, but then there's also 5' capping and 3' polyadenylisation,
Deletion. Yeah,
Deletion.
that one.
and there's so I didn't know which ones were the 3 major ones. I'm assuming processing and splicing are.
Splicing, I think it's processing, splicing, and then the third one.
I didn't know because actually I started doing that. I realized
Oh, you passed
What did she,
Yeah,
what did she say on
Okay.
her answer here?
Processing, splicing, and then there's a bunch of. What did she say?
Oh, splicing, 5' capping, and 3' capping.
So 5' capping, 3' capping, and
That
And
makes
splicing.
sense.
It does make sense, yeah.
I remember 3' capping and 5 well, polyadenylation.
it says N polyadenylation.
Yeah, end because it's a 3' end, so the 3' end.
It goes,
It's all the A.
Yeah.
but I don't.
So you clearly just can't eat them up, or they will eat those up and not eat up the other.
So
Okay.
okay, that makes sense.
Cool. So we got that then. So it goes 5', then 3', and then splicing.
Well, okay. I read that, like, I'm pretty sure that splicing happens, like, after
Yeah.
transcription.
Yeah,
Yeah.
once the whole thing's done,
So that would make
It's
sense
last.
that
it's the last one. Yeah.
So 5', 3' splicing.
Are we good with part A then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so part B, ribozymes play an important role in RNA modification. What is a ribozyme? Which RNA modification process involve ribozymes? I remember talking about reading about this.
Oh, ribozyme is called something else, and it's what's it?
I remember
There's something that's easier to remember than ribozyme.
catalytic RNAs.
No, that doesn't sound easier.
That's what I was thinking of.
Pre-mRNAs, that's what it is. Oh, it's the group 1 introns. No, these catalytic pre-mRNAs are also called ribozymes. Yeah, they're pre-mRNAs.
Okay. What was the question again?
What
Are they the introns themselves?
What is a ribozyme? Which RNA modification processes involve ribozymes? So that would be
splicing.
splicing.
Okay, yeah.
But the ribosome itself is what? Like a sequence of RNA?
Is it
It's
the
it's
whole
the mRNA. I think.
mRNA?
It's the pre.
whole
It's,
It's the
thing?
pre.
it's the pre-mRNA. Yeah.
So
it's
it's that
mature.
It's
it's
before
the
it's spliced, right?
mRNA that has the introns in it.
So it'd be pre-mRNA, then you have splicing, you take out the introns, and you have mature RNA.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
What did she say?
Let's check here. She said a ribozyme is a catalytic RNA molecule. Intron splicing involves the use of ribozymes.
Okay.
Yeah, so the catalytic, it's so it's the
That makes sense.
so when it says catalytic, is that just referring to that it is this the start of it, or like what does it mean by catalytic RNA? Like what does it want to
It's
say?
It
just-
just means
reacts.
catalysis, so speeds up, right?
It speeds up the reaction.
But isn't it like central to the reaction? Like isn't it the main part of the reaction? I feel like
Catalytic.
The pre-mRNA catalyzes the removal of its own intron.
That's what catalytic means.
wait, say that again.
The pre-mRNA catalyzes the removal of its own intron.
So it doesn't have to bring anything in.
Like
to
it itself can be like, "Okay, I'm
splices
done."
itself.
Get rid of
So that's what
this.
catalytic means. It means that
Okay.
it doesn't actually need an enzyme.
So ribozymes then are only involved in group 1 splicing?
Yes.
Group 1 introns, did you say?
Oh.
What it looks like.
The same thing on the PowerPoint extra. Let's see here.
Well, I don't think the type of intron would would matter?
I think it's both. It's both group 1 and group 2. So
Yeah.
they are self-splicing. So like the ones that use the spliceosomes don't have ribosomes. They aren't ribosomes.
They don't have intron.
Oh,
Wait, what?
they aren't
They're
ribosomes.
if
If
they use the spliceosomes, then they're not ribosomes.
If they have, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Okay.
So if they do it on their own, then they're ribosomes.
Yeah. Okay. Part C. What is the function of each of the following molecules in RNA modification? Small snRNP. So that's what makes up the spliceosome, right? That makes up the.
The protein.
So there's like 3 parts to it. There's the. So I wrote it down. There's. Maybe there's
Small nuclear ribonucleoprotein. Yeah, they're the subunits of spliceosome.
Yeah, there's small nuclear. What they call again? Small nuclear
Ribonucleoprotein.
Okay.
Small
Where
nuclear
did I write that down?
So these would be
Okay.
on the non-ribozymes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So ribosome itself is just like an RNA sequence.
That's pretty.
But then like when spliceosomes are used or like SNRPs, it's gonna be like this, and then like the sequence is gonna be like.
Guanosine
Nucleosides?
That's a protein, right?
No, that's a. It's a nucleoside. It's a base, isn't it? It's the.
Oh yeah.
Binding of a free guanosine nucleoside to a binding site within the intron. In this reaction, the guanosine serves as a cofactor for the reaction for group 1 introns.
Group 1. Okay. That's something else.
So that one would be considered an intron itself? No, within the intron.
Within the intron, it's a cofactor.
Okay.
So
It's involved in the it's involved in the self-splicing, right?
Yep. Okay. CPSF.
CPSF.
I remember it, but I don't.
I don't remember that one.
That sounds familiar.
Cleavage and polyadenylation specificity factor. CPSF cleaves the RNA 10 to 35 nucleotides downstream of the recognition site.
So that's to do with the polyadenylation. So, okay, first you're little diagram here. Let's see. Okay, so there's the sequence that in the mRNA that tells them that's around where you need to put in the polyadenylation. And so like 20 bases down from that, then the job of the CPSF is to cleave that off, and then
so
that
A can come in.
so the so that the polymerase can come in and add on the adenines.
Also, it's before the big A sequence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
it chops
it off.
so that
You can
it
add.
can add.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I understand, anyways.
For cleaving.
Yeah.
CPSF.
Just write this. PSF. Cleaving. For prior to. I think a lot of this. We went over like most of the stuff. Maybe not in quite as much detail, but like most of the stuff in 181. Makes it easier, especially because it makes it easier to recall.
the next one?
Polypolymerase.
So
Oh,
that's
that's the one that has the big AA tail.
yeah, that's what its job is.
Guanylyl transferase.
I think that one. No, that's not what I was thinking of.
Am I worried about all these enzymes
Oh, it's the 5' capping,
memorizing?
right? What was it? What was the name of it again?
Guanylyl transferase.
Wait, I think it is, but it's not. Wait.
Yeah, guanylyl transferase.
Okay, yeah.
That's an enzyme. Guanylyl transferase.
It takes.
Yeah,
Does it take the 5' end of one and the other and connect them?
says guanylyl transferase
Oh.
hydrolyzes the GTP, and the GMP is attached to the 5' end, and the PP is released. So it does the attaching of
And the 5.
the
prime
5'
cap.
cap.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
Can I
what.
see that picture?
Yeah, that's really small. But I'll make it bigger for us. Is that what happened? Wait,
Wait, where is it? Oh yeah, it's
I-
down there.
yeah, it's right here. So guanylyl transferase. So then there's another one that's involved in this. There's
Hydrolysis GTP.
So the other one involved is the methyl transferase, which attaches the methyl group to it, which is the last part. So wait, and what is the 7-methylguanosine? Oh, so the 5' cap is the 7-methylguanosine cap, right? They're the same thing. Okay. So the guanylyl transferase, its job is to attach the now guano. What was it? Guanosine monophosphate. Is that what it is?
GTP.
GMP. Okay, they hydrolyze the GTP and pops off two.
Monophosphate. I think that sounds right. And then
And it attaches the 5' cap.
so the GMP attaches to the 5' end.
Yeah, but what it attaches isn't GTP anymore. It's GMP.
GMP.
Yeah. So then that ends there. There's always going to be a guanosine remnant, right? It's like the end of the mRNA, like the last thing is going to be.
I would think so. If they're all guanyl or guanine, it would make sense. I don't know if I could say that.
I should have better diagram here. But I guess this is what it looks like, right?
Yeah.
Where does the methyl group come in here? Oh, well, we can look at it later.
Sometimes I think I save myself some money by not buying the book for this class, but sometimes I'm like, I don't wish I would have gone there.
I got the book and I use it like this.
Oh really? So the pictures in there don't help very much? Or?
Mostly because because not because they don't help it, it's really good, but like a lot of these things from here come from the book, and at least that's what I noticed, and like you don't really need the book.
Oh.
Like I mean, it would be good. Like I could use it, and it would probably help me out. And I probably will. There's a good chance that I will before in this semester again. But I mean, like so far, anyways, I've seen most of the stuff that we need that I've needed has been on the PowerPoints and the instructor notes. But
Yeah, I just thought maybe the book had more of it.
it probably does. I just haven't looked at it. You're probably right. Okay, what's the next thing?
D. Introns are often identified by examining the results of hybridization experiments in the electron microscope. If a gene contains two introns, draw on an image that represents the results of a hybridization experiment when the template DNA strand is hybridized to the mature mRNA followed by hybridization with the coding gene.
Oh, I know this, but see, that's easy because that's the exact same picture that's in the PowerPoint. You have two strands of DNA. They have like yeah. I guess we don't have to draw it, but like you end up with
Draw the loops.
this. And this is like an R loop.
So what? Okay, so
What?
Sorry,
What's
I'm
the-
like skipping steps, but it's that. So it said how you have how many introns?
2.
But wouldn't this just be one? Oops.
Yeah, that's just one intron. So then that means you'd have two loops, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why? I don't know why it doesn't exactly.
Wouldn't it be gone at the?
No, because so you're like mixing it in that. You're like putting them all together, so it doesn't.
So is this like when this? So wait, what I can understood, but I'm not sure this is right or not. Is that sometimes like it's another option instead of the sply system coming and removing it completely, it makes this loop. Is that right, or am I assuming wrong?
Wait, say that again.
So is this like another pathway or like another option, or some kinds of mRNA, eukaryotic mRNA, instead of using a spliceosome, they'll just make this loop?
Well, so I think this method is not so much like replication as much as it's a way for people or someone to determine how many introns are in, like to confirm the number of introns in a DNA strand. So I don't know what exactly they do to it, but it makes it loop like that.
Oh, and so then they can. Oh, it's just so
So-
they can identify. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so then when it loops, like since you have two introns, then
So
there
you can-
should be two loops.
Then you can
I think.
see it.
Yeah, you'd be able to see them in there. So
Oh.
you'd see two of them, and that means
So
it has
then-
two introns.
It would just, if it had two, it would look like.
So what is the R loop? What was the purpose of that? That's where. So no,
So if you don't have introns,
if there's no introns and the R loop is formed. If there is not introns, then there's the B globin or the beta globin.
wait, what's the beta?
I
I don't
mentioned it
remember
up
that one.
here. I was reading about it in the instructor notes. Let's see here.
So if you don't have introns, then you only form one R loop instead of two.
Oh.
Wait, so if there is introns, do you still
So,
form?
so no,
So
no
this
introns
would
is
be-
up here. This is no introns. This is one intron.
Okay, so
And
R loop.
this is that. Right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so then this diagram that you drew here is when there are introns, right? There's two
And
introns.
there's one.
That would be one.
That'd be
intron.
one, right?
Okay, so another one would just be the same thing then.
So that's why I don't know, and I was asking her. I think if there's two introns, then you'd have two loops.
So it'd be like
Right.
that was really bad.
Yeah. No, but
So like,
is there a picture on there?
I'm looking.
And this right here is the introns. So what's the purpose of this though? Why do they do that?
I prepared drawing that will answer this question.
I think it's just to confirm the number of introns in the DNA.
So is it something that the examiner, or the biologist, is doing to the strand, right?
Yeah, to
To
confirm.
confirm it. So it's not something that does naturally.
Mm-mm,
Okay,
no.
that makes
And I
more
think
sense.
if you go in the notes, if you go to that electron, there's a section on electron. Oh, you're already there.
This microscopy. How do you say that? Microscopy.
Oh, that's yeah.
Yep.
Microscopy. I don't know. Like, is it microscopy?
I think it's microscopy. It sounds good.
That sounds better.
Yeah. So I think that if you have one intron that forms two R loops and one intron loop, and so if you had two introns, in my head, you would have two of these.
Mm-hmm.
So then,
But then I don't know, because then does that mean that both of those introns go into that RNA, and then they both get spliced out, or what?
Wait, so what was your question?
So you start with two introns, right?
Yeah.
Does that mean they both go into the pre-mRNA? Both of those introns?
I think so.
Yeah,
I
they
think
would
they're
be
also
And then they would both
be
get spliced out?
because in the strand of RNA there's just like sections of introns all throughout it, right?
Right. And so then and so then mature mRNA binds to template strand, which causes the intron DNA to loop out. So that makes sense. So I'm pretty sure this is the answer.
So then, if there is no introns, then what happens again?
There's just one loop.
You just have a loop without.
Oh, because
Like
it just
it's
binds to
that
it.
blob.
So this is kind of what this would be the. So is that what it would be like? This would be the coding strand with loop, and then the template strand would do one loop.
What do you mean by coding strand?
So this is the coding strand.
Yeah.
That's the template strand, right?
Well, template strand, yeah, it's showing it on the bottom here.
So the
and then
template
the
strand
same.
would only have one intron loop, whereas the coding strand would have one R loop, then an intron loop, and then another R loop. Would you have like the mRNA like just going across the whole thing?
This is where it's filled in like this.
From what I understand, what happens is the mRNA is binding. So it's like this right here is going to be taken out eventually, right? The intron.
Mm-hmm.
And so the mRNA they're putting in there is binding directly to the template
The
strand.
part that it would bind to
Yeah.
without
And so they're all just lining up just exactly right, and that's why it's formed.
So if you have more than one intron, would the mRNA just be
Yeah, it would just keep on
way?
going. So if you had an mRNA that's long enough, I think, with so there might be like 6 or 7 or 8 or 10. I don't know if that's possible, but theoretically, there's that many in there, and they would just make that many more R loops and strands.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I think that's right. I was having a hard time understanding this whole thing because they asked about this in the flying problems. But
I'm gonna take a picture of this, even though it's like just kind of a diagram.
I hope she provides a.
But it makes a lot more sense now because this was something that like I was like, it doesn't make sense. I'm gonna skip it. Like,
Well, I stared at it for a long time until I got frustrated and I emailed her. But for some reason, it kind of made more sense right now.
oh, cool. So we
Let
got
me see
them.
how long.
It's been like 40 minutes.
Oh, has it? Okay,
Uh-huh.
good.
It's 43.
Oh yeah.